Hi everybody, I'm Gil with GoADU. I'm here with Julian, the owner of the beautiful ADU that we completed a few months ago. So Julian, what made you decide to build an ADU?
I bought this house with my family a few years ago, and I'm a merchant mariner, so I go out to sea for a few months at a time, and then I'm off for a few months at a time. So for me, having a space that was separate that I had here with my family that I can stay at when I'm in town was kind of the best setup for me, as opposed to renting something that I paid full year and only got to use half the time. Having the space that was my own, and then having the flexibility of a space that I could either Airbnb out or do a home swap kind of situation when I'm not here seemed like a good setup.
Yeah, before you built, what were you most worried about?
I was probably most worried, obviously, about cost. That's always going to be a big thing you're considering and weighing the options of. What I was able to do with the space once it was built, kind of thinking of the process of either Airbnb-ing it out or doing the home swap thing when I wasn't here, kind of that kind of planning for that. I'd say those were my main concerns. I guess also not having access to the space during construction, but
Because you were working.
yeah, exactly. But luckily, it kind of helped out because I was out at sea for a good chunk of the time of the construction, so I was kind of here for the beginning and then the end.
So before you build, how many contractors did you talk to?
So I actually went through Realm, and they kind of organized to have 3 different contractors come and meet with me, and we talked through different plans, what I wanted to do, and then they gave me a quote for what the expected costs were going to be and build time, that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I spoke to 2 others, and then I compared the 3 and went with GoADU.
Before you built this, what was the most important thing that you wanted to gain out of getting the ADU?
I think definitely having my own space, a space that's separate from the home that I can furnish and set up the way I want it. I think that was probably the most valuable part. Yeah.
Okay. Did we stick with the price we gave you?
Yeah, straight from the start, the communication of the price, what was included, was all very much set in stone, set in paper, and clearly communicated, and stuck with it through the whole project.
Okay.
Yeah, I was very happy with that.
Yeah, do you feel like your life has changed since you got the ADU?
Yeah, definitely. So far, it's pretty much mostly been this last couple months that I've been able to, or last, I guess, few weeks really, that I've been able to kind of get fully furnished and spend my time here. But already it's completely different having a known space that I was able to kind of set up my way from the start and have that independent space that's really my own is super valuable. Yeah, I really like that. If I was to describe Gil, I would say that he's really clear at communicating the vision for a project, which for this kind of thing is, super useful. I feel like what made GoADU stand out from the beginning was the way that Gil not only was talking to me about a project, but talking to me about, creating essentially my home, part of that. So I think that kind of personal touch really made GoADU in general stand out from the beginning.
Yeah, having been through the experience of doing an ADU, if you're talking to someone who's thinking about doing an ADU, what would you say?
I would say spend a lot of time thinking about what you want from the space. I feel like that's the biggest thing. Having a clear plan of what you want the space for and what you want to do with it and what the most important things are. Because inevitably, for us, the compromise we had to make was having a small space, what to make out of it. I think if you maybe are constricted by other things, maybe where your neighborhood is or whatever else, then you're gonna have different things that you're weighing.
Yeah.
But having a clear vision of what you want from the space and what you plan on doing with it, that's the biggest thing.
Okay. Before calling anybody.
Before, yeah.